video I'm going to show you how to do a crochet popcorn stitch. Popcorn stitch is a type of a cluster stitch where you do an odd number of stitches into one stitch and then join the top in a certain way that it puffs out in your fabric. Okay, so we did a row of double crochet stitches. Let's chain 2 and turn. Okay. To do a popcorn stitch, usually the common one that you would see is 5 stitches into one. So let's do 5 double crochet stitches into one stitch. You could see this done with 3 stitches too, but commonly the 5 is used, and sometimes 7 if you want it puff out more. Okay, so we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches over here. So we take our hook out, put it from the front through both loops of the first stitch, then now we get our loop and pull it through. Okay, and make it a little tight. Okay, so now this we did the first popcorn stitch. Typically, if you do a pattern just out of these popcorn stitches, you would chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and keep going in the same manner. So let's do one more. We'll do 5 double crochet stitches into one stitch, you can do this technically with half double crochet stitch, but it looks nicely with double crochet stitch and treble crochet and so on and so forth. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll take our hook out, put it through both loops of the first stitch in our cluster, get our loop and pull it through and make it tight. Okay, chain 1. Okay, so you see our clusters sticking out. The difference from the bobble stitch is that the top of this stitch is sticking out, you know, in this way. Where in the bobble stitch you have one top and only the middle of the stitch is sticking out and forming your pattern here. You can have this stitch puff out either to the front or to the back. To make it to puff out to the back, skip 1 and let's go and do 5 double crochet stitches into one. As I said, you can make it with 7 stitches if you want. It'll make the popcorn stick out even more. But typically you would see 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If your pattern calls for it to make your popcorn stick out into the back, so instead of putting your hook from the front, you take your hook from the back and then into your loop and pull it through this way. Okay, so then you would chain 1, for example, skip 1 stitch and go to the next. Okay, so this is how to do a crochet popcorn stitch. I will do a separate playlist with all kinds of stitch patterns that you would use popcorn stitch for. Okay, so watch out for that. Happy crocheting!